everyone, and welcome to. Oh my god, Max, get off my keyboard. Welcome to Fallout New Thedas, where your dog still has a major impact on the plot. Last time, after a series of strange and inexplicable coincidences brought them together, except for Ray, who just kind of showed up in Gwaren, our heroes watched in terror as a dragon ripped its way through the Fade. The dragon showed up in the market district, knocked a few heads, and created several Knurl-shaped holes in various surfaces. Desmond failed to make new friends, Velise made a clutch shot with a loner rocket launcher, Ray made some seriously sick-ass acrobatic checks, and Knurl made a great landing pad. Tragically, none of it was enough to stop the dragon from carrying Jenny, the director of the Unbroken Circle, away. And that is where we start our... would you guys like to just quickly introduce yourselves and the characters you'll be playing?
Sure. I'm Allie, and I am playing Ray, the Bronto herding golem, who is excited to punch some dragons and stuff in the spirit of Bronto herding all around.
I'm Dally, and I'm playing Velise, the elfin bard.
Knurl is Knurl!
Who was Knurl voiced by?
Knurl is voiced by Andrea!
Thank you, Knurl and Andrea.
Bless.
All right, we are currently missing Bucky, but as he is the only one missing, we will soldier on. So, after the dragon swooped off, carrying Jenny in its talons, you guys went back to the Unbroken Circle, and the old elven man, who I did not give a name all of last session, told you that you had a problem. What would you like to do?
I'd like to know what problems the mages have right now.
How much do you know about rift stabilization and why cities are safer?
Is that an in-character or out-of-character question?
That is an in-character question.
Is this something Velise would know?
Probably at least a little, since you live in a big city. I don't know if you'd necessarily know, like, every single detail of the process.
So what is roughly the process?
You can roll enchantment if you'd like to have, like, see if you have a more detailed understanding, but basically, as far as you know, every city has some, like, big crystal thingies, like beacons, that keep the Fade intact inside the city walls and sort of in the very immediate area around the city. And most cities employ some number of mages to protect and maintain those things.
Velise responds, I know a bit.
All right, well, just come in and see. And he's going to motion for all of you to come inside the tower, which is remarkably intact except for the top 2 floors, give or take.
Is the door golem sized?
Yeah, the door is reasonably sized that a golem can get in if they kind of tilt and shuffle a little bit, and everyone else has plenty of room to get in and could probably walk with 2 of you.
Cool. I sort of awkwardly shuffle in.
Yeah. Allie, unless I specifically specify that it is not, you can consider Ray having lived in the world long enough to be able to figure out how to squish yourself through most doors.
Cool.
Okay, so he takes you down some stairs into a basement area, and he motions you to the door, and he says, "I'm Traxus, by the way. I'm the head of research, and I suppose, in Jenny's absence, the interim head of everything else.
Knurl is Knurl.
Okay, Knurl.
Velise, what were you going to show us?
He points you to a computer array that he's got set up. And all around you is a fairly large, like, research lab space that takes up this whole floor of the tower. There's lots of computers. There's some space where there's some, like, weird stuff going on with a laser and a crystal that you don't totally understand, but there's a dwarf working on it who is so intent that you're pretty sure they didn't actually surface for the dragon attack. And he's typing in a password on a specific computer and pulling up a diagram that shows you like the locations of various beacon crystals around town overlaid on a town map. And there is a big red square, well, actually a big red rectangle in the middle.
Would that be the breach?
Oh, that's not the breach. This doesn't show breaches. This shows you can see that the square is overlaid on a building that you're pretty sure, unless your sense of direction is totally crap, you're pretty sure that building is the Chantry. And he sighs and he says, our primary focus in Gwaren is not docked. The Chantry sustained some damage. We haven't cleared enough rubble to check if it's missing or if it's just been knocked out of the way. But well, Jenny's always told me I'm a bit of a pessimist.
So, you're saying the red rectangle isn't good?
The red rectangle is the reason that demons started pouring out of the sky. And we've got rift mages holding the spot stable. But, well, we have a very limited quantity of lyrium. And if we don't restore the focus or replace the focus or find the focus before we run out of lyrium, our choices are let some of our highly trained and very expensive to replace rift mages die, burning themselves up to keep the city safe, dump a bunch of demons on the city, or start a blood bank.
How do we find a replacement crystal?
Well, we should probably check if it's there. The problem is that one wasn't your typical traditional crystal.
What was untraditional about it?
Well, it was in the Chantry because it also had certain religious and political significance, and the Chantry wanted to display it. It just happened to also be a good focus.
Is that going to make it harder to find if we go and look for it?
Technically, no. It is a very big sword.
Does the Chantry know that you were using it as a focus?
Yes. They did not like it. But they didn't like demons either, so they dealt with it.
Fair enough.
I'm not here to glad hand. I'm just here to keep people safe and do my research.
Speaking of keeping people safe, the pediatrics ward okay?
Yep.
Good.
It was the top floor that got obliterated was all very sensitive and expensive, but not alive equipment for measuring the rifts and meteorological conditions and whatnot.
I'll take that over not children.
Oh no, the children are fine. They're just sticky and not my research equipment. I mean, obviously, it's good that the children aren't dead. I just wish my research equipment wasn't dead either.
So it sounds like we should go to the Chantry and see if the focus is still there.
I suppose.
I mean, do you have something more pressing for us to do? I would very much like to go and rescue Jenny, but if there are more people at risk here, that does seem to be the more pressing issue.
Knurl wants revenge.
I understand, Knurl, and it's not that I don't want to rescue Jenny. It's that if we go and rescue Jenny before we have stopped this entire city from being sucked into the Fade, Jenny will fire punch me so hard that I will forget what my ancestors thought. She would be mad.
That's fine. We are going to... She looks at the others. I'm assuming that we're in agreement that we're going to go to the Chantry first and stabilize things there.
Ray nods. That sounds like the best course of action.
Knurl just slowly raises his hammer and just says, "Smash."
Probably not smash the focus, but if we come across any demons, you can smash them.
Knurl runs out the door.
Well, if there's anything else you
is-
wanted to tell us, you should probably do so quickly. She's following Knurl.
Lumbering towards the door.
Oh god. He kind of leans back and yells after you, crap. He doesn't yell crap. I said crap because I put my notes in the wrong spot.
Well, you didn't say it in the old man voice, so doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Thank you. I tried my best. He leans out after you and says, find Crystal, or come back and we'll talk about a replacement. Revered Mother Gwendolyn is a piece of work.
I'm sure it will be fine. I kind of wave encouragingly back and stride forward towards the Chantry.
Yeah. Velise, Prinny is kind of jogging after you, and she sort of taps your shoulder as you're all scooting.
Yeah?
I think I'm out.
No, that's fine. Do you want to head home?
Yeah, I just want to go home and polish some glasses and not get punched by a dragon.
Yeah.
What a pride
Sorry,
demon.
Prinny, I didn't think this was going to be quite so, exciting.
Yeah, I was down for, maybe a werewolf, but this is a lot.
No, you go home to where it's safe. My love to
Alright.
Aglith.
Okay, don't die. I still
mean-
want to see you.
I mean, I'll try.
try
You know,
really
Simeon's
hard.
probably not going to be using one of those horses. You could probably take one of those.
Yeah, gonna do it. Alright. See you later.
Alright, love you,
I
Prin.
hope-
Bye.
I love you. And, Prinny trots off in the direction of the town gate and the place you left your horse. Well, not all of you, but the place Velise and the people from her session 0 left.
Hannah, so I know in the main, Dragon Age universe that the Chantry is kind of, like, allied with the Templars, like, they kind of work together. What's the situation between them in the post-apocalyptic version?
The Templars are still a very religious organization, but they are not like politically or economically tied to the Chantry. Like their religious beliefs are still a foundational part of like the Templar order, but the Chantry has nothing to do with them, and depending on like the personal views of the revered mothers, certain Chantries actively condemn their treatment of mages, and others are more, cool with it.
Okay, so it depends. Got it.
Yeah, but they're not like intertwined like they are in the games.
Gotcha.
God. All right. Is Knurl still running in front?
Yep.
Okay. Does Knurl know what a Chantry is?
Nope.
Okay, do a streetwise check with a -5 penalty to try and find the Chantry. Oh, that's a 7.
But
That-
you tried real hard.
All right. Knurl, you are not sure what a Chantry is, but if it's important, it probably has food. You smell some cooking meat that smells delicious, and you follow that scent to a large building.
Does it look like the places that the guy described with the first floor being, the top floor being gone?
The place you were in had a top floor that was gone.
Oh.
That you were told that the Chantry sustained a lot of damage, but not what that damage was specific.
Does this building look like it sustained a lot of damage?
No, it actually looks perfectly fine, and Knurl can read, right?
I think we established yes, but not very well.
All right. The outside says Greasy Joe's Buffalo Haunch.
Knurl
Knurl?
just tilts his head.
Knurl, do you know where the Chantry is?
Knurl does not know.
Okay. Velise is going to look around and see if she can spot the Chantry.
Roll me streetwise.
17.
That'll do it.
You are the most competent.
Yeah. You spot a spire sticking up from the more like densely populated area that is sort of like about 8 or 9 city blocks over from where you guys are now.
She points. That is where we're headed.
Knurl takes off in that direction.
All right.
Okay, let's continue following the one with no sense of direction. Got it, and she takes off after him.
I follow.
All right. So, the three of you see what looks like it was probably like pre-dragon smashing, a grand old building. It's made of this dark granite, and it could have been very austere, but all around you are shattered pieces of colored glass that have blown outwards from the building. And it seems that most of the damage was confined to the front, and there are a lot of people around you that are shifting, big stone blocks and mortar chunks and things out of the way, trying to get to the inside. And you can also hear voices inside, though not distinctly. You can just tell there are living presences inside the building that are conscious.
Knurl is going to walk over and start grabbing at some of the bigger chunks and start trying to throw them away from the building.
Okay, I need everyone to roll a perception check, and I need Knurl to roll me athletics.
Yeah, 16.
Okay. Oh,
That is a
Knurl.
1 in perception.
Oh, Knurl. All right. Allie has gone to get her laundry, so Ray is just going to roll perception when she gets back. All right.
30 athletics.
Oh, that's good.
Knurl, you are killing it athletics-wise. you are so focused on those rocks. And also you find a very suspicious bug on one of them. And you are
Knurl's trying to smash
absolutely
the bug.
certain. Yeah, okay, you're absolutely certain that that bug had something to do with all of this. You may smash the bug.
I'm just imagining Ali getting back and then Ray rolling perception and noticing what it is we're meant to notice, but like 5 minutes after we were meant to notice it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, did you guys all notice this? And we're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, no, we noticed. We were just waiting for you to notice.
Honestly, yeah, I'm probably gonna let her do more or less exactly that.
Good.
Velise, you notice with some relief that the buildings around it that are clearly like homes are not smashed up like the Chantry is.
Good.
And oh, Bucky is coming. All right. Anywho, Knurl is just a powerhouse of efficiency, and between Knurl and the like 20 or 30 other people who combined are doing roughly an equal amount of work to Knurl, you guys make like a makeshift hole to come through the rubble in and to let the people trapped in the Chantry out.
Why, thank you, Knurl.
Knurl has not found any demon things, but Knurl did find a bug. Knurl thinks that the bug is the cause of this.
Well, it's certainly not outside the realm of possibility based on all the things I've seen today.
Please tell me Knurl is capable of convincing the entire party this is somehow a single bug's fault.
Okay, what did I miss?
Knurl has determined that the reason why this building has collapsed is because of a bug.
Oh, it's not a bug.
How?
It's not a bug, it's a feature. You got a
The
really
bug
bad
is
perception
very
check.
suspicious, Alistair. Also, Knurl rolled a nat 1.
Incredible. Are we gonna now roll a nat 20 in speech?
Well, that's up to Andrea, but
Can I?
you may roll speech. If you roll a nat 20, I will require that every other party become actively convinced that this is somehow the bug's fault.
That's another
And-
one.
That's a nat 1 again. That's amazing.
That is another nat 1.
I love how it's just like everything that is strength based or endurance based, I roll well. And everything else is just poor.
It's
I
like the
mean-
dice knew how you were building your character.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense for Knurl. Also, plus side, house rules say if you roll a third one in a row, we treat it as a nat.
Treated as a what?
I'm not sure if I ever clarified, but after the train wreck that was Tangaroa, I made it a house rule that if you crit fail 3 times in a row, the third time becomes a nat 20
Ah,
instead
neat.
of a nat 1. Because otherwise it's just too sad.
Otherwise, it is basically Tangaroa again.
Yeah. And
So-
no one wants Tangaroa again.
I want certain elements of Tangaroa again. Not the dice, though.
Yeah. The dice were what I meant.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Clarification.
Please, for the love of God, roll perception.
Okay,
Try and roll well, because neither Andrea or I got it.
I will do my best.
Eh?
Holy
Eh?
crap!
Wait, that's a nat 20!
All right. Desmond, you have been distracted through the whole explanation of what you guys are doing over here. But when everyone got diverted to Greasy Joe's Druffalo haunches, you grabbed a quick snack, woke yourself up, and you're looking around and you're realizing that while the Chantry is in ruins that look very much like a dragon could have done them, nothing else around you in this entire city block shows any evidence of a dragon or demon attack.
Oh.
And you also note, because you got a nat 20, that all of the rubble seems to be blown outwards from the Chantry.
Oh my god.
Not it's not like smashed in like it would be if a dragon had like run its tail into it or something.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Yes.
Can I just say that was a nice touch, kind of saying that Velise managed to notice this, but not the significance of it. That was really good. It's like, Velise, you notice with some relief that the houses around haven't been attacked, and I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's just very clever.
Desmond has been kind of not saying a word this entire time and has not been aware of his surroundings and has mostly just been following you guys in a confused daze. Looks up and kind of studies the area, and then he says, Why is the Chantry the only place that was destroyed?
I'm not entirely sure. It didn't seem like the dragon was making a targeted attack, but perhaps it was going after the Chantry in particular?
Are you sure it was the dragon?
It was this bug! And Knurl holds up a piece of rock that has a smashed bug on it.
Or that, but who
Knurl,
else?
while you were trying to convince them, another bug flies in your face and completely ruins your awesome speech. It's a conspiracy.
Knurl just screams, swatting at the bug, and as soon as it's out of his face, begins to chase the bug with his hammer.
Desmond, what are you getting at? Who else could it have been?
I don't know, but look at how the Chantry was destroyed.
I don't follow.
It's not destroyed as if a dragon swept its tail through it. Something came from inside of it.
We are going to pause for a second because now 2 players have missed significant portions of this session. So we're just going to pause, have a quick recap here.
Okay.
I just want to point out, I really like the image of Desmond and... Okay, how do you pronounce your character's name again, Ellie? I'm sorry.
Velise. I'll spell it in the chat.
Okay, Velise.
Yeah.
Desmond and Velise are just having this very, very important conversation, and just in the background, Knurl is running back and forth chasing a bug.
Yes. It is how a Knurl do.
At this point, Hannah just about manages to wrangle her players and catches Bucky and Ali up on what they've missed. You don't really need to hear that part though, because that's what you've been listening to for the past half hour.
So, are we all back now?
I'm back.
Okay,
Sorry for the delay.
cool. What Velise had been saying was, oh no, we need to get in there. Knurl, you might need to get ready to smash. We might have trouble. I wasn't muted that time, was I?
You were not.
I missed a little bit, but that's because I was having connectivity issues, so just don't mind me.
Okay.
Knurl's not paying attention.
Velise is clambering in.
Alright, Ray's gonna kind of like punch a fist into an open palm and like kind of shamble it into the hole. I'm assuming it's going to take some doing, unless it's a huge hole.
I mean, it's not a huge hole, but Knurl has opened it up enough that it's not that hard for you to knock loose the last few rocks you need to be able to get through yourself.
Gotcha.
Once everyone else is in, Knurl realizes he's outside alone and goes into the hole, prepared to fight whatever other bugs are in this building.
All right. You immediately encounter a human man who is very clearly dead. He looks like he got knocked in the head whenever the destruction of the Chantry happened. And sitting over him and weeping is a woman in identical robes who, Desmond, you recognize as Sister Karis.
Interesting.
She is crying and looks very distraught.
Hello?
Are you in need of assistance?
Ray.
I mean, I suppose not. It's just...
Sister, what happened here? We've come to help.
Oh. Brother Clifford must have been just in the way when it happened. I don't know.
When what happened?
When the Chantry was destroyed.
Do you know what destroyed it?
I'm not sure. I mean, it all happened so fast.
Is there anything you can remember?
Not really. I'm sorry.
Um,
This never should have happened.
can I read her?
Like, do an insight check?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
22.
Alright. She seems very genuinely distraught. Beyond that, like, level of very clear grief for, I can't remember if she actually said that his name was Brother Hadley or not.
I
But,
thought she called him Clifford.
crap. Sorry. I have all my Chantry people in a list, and they're all on a spreadsheet. Right, this is Brother Clifford, and he's dead. You'll meet Sister Hadley in like 10 seconds. Okay. So aside from her very genuine grief for Brother Clifford, who we all knew very well and by name and care a lot about, you can't really get a read on like whether or not she's telling the truth beyond that.
Okay.
Do not worry. Knurl will get vengeance on all the bugs.
What?
Knurl has a working theory. It's very much a theory, and we're very much working on it. Knurl, maybe we shouldn't say too much until we're exactly sure what. I'm going to take a look around.
Velise, you see two other women in Chantry robes. Sister Karis is an elf. There's a human woman who is wearing fancier robes, and you can recognize her as probably the revered mother. And there is a dwarf woman who is having a very like hushed and frantic looking conversation with her. You can also just like look around for clues. I don't know which kind of look around you're going for here.
Yeah, anything to indicate what might have set off the explosion or whatever it was that caused the destruction.
Okay, if you're looking for that, roll me a perception check.
15.
You see that the bricks seem to be scorched. Some of them you can't really tell much beyond the bricks are very, very like blackened in certain places, and because these are all like heavy stone blocks, it would have taken a lot of force to do whatever happened. But you don't find anything like specific.
Okay, she's gonna touch the rocks and see if they're still hot.
They're not blazing, but they're still a little warm.
Okay.
Was there you said there were 3 Chantry people when we walked in and looked around, and one of them was alone, possibly?
There's Sister Karis, who is currently weeping over Brother Clifford's corpse, and there's revered Mother Gwendolyn and Sister Hadley, who you haven't actually met yet and don't know their names, but it's faster than, describing them 6 times.
Right. So Ray is going to rumble on over to Fancy Robe Lady and other Chantry person and say, "Hello. Is everyone all right? We are here to help."
Dally, I want to apologize to you right now.
Apology accepted?
No, Dally. I'm apologizing to Dally.
Oh, I thought you said Allie.
So did I.
Yes, I also apologize to Dally.
You're going to try
Are
to
we
do a
on
British
all
accent,
right?
aren't you?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, I've tried to do southern accents before, so I guess we're even.
Fair enough. We aren't all right. We're missing valuable relics.
And where did they go?
Sister Hadley, the dwarf, turns to you and says, I'm sorry, but what exactly does missing mean to you?
No longer in the place where you put it.
So what makes you think that we would? I'm sorry. This accent is all over
It
everywhere.
took a
geographically.
quick swerve into
A little
Minnesota.
It's supposed to be Minnesota. Minnesota is the only correct location
Cool.
for this accent. She says, it's not like we were just fooling around thinking, ooh, I think I'll just misplace the Blade of Hessarian today. That sounds like a good trick.
Sister, is the Blade of Hessarian the focus for keeping the rifts secure?
Yup, it sure is.
Do you have any idea what caused this explosion or whatever it is that she gestures around at the wreckage?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I assumed it was the dragon.
No, we don't think it was.
Ooh, are you sure? I was cleaning up the confessional booth when it happened.
Can I incite her as well?
Absolutely.
No, 8. 12, sorry, 12.
Above average.
No, it's not. An average is 15 in this system.
You're just sitting there like, dear God, or I guess dear Maker, where is her accent from?
Can I also roll an insight check?
You may.
I got a 5.
I was
Honestly,
Does
you're
it
not
do
even
something
sure
because Knurl's not.
What?
I said I would suggest Desmond doing something because Knurl is not here.
All right.
Is Knurl still with the bug?
Knurl has gone to wandering.
Oh, jeez.
What do I insight with my amazing check? Clearly I've solved the mystery.
Honestly, you're not even sure she's a real dwarf. Andrea, when did you tell me Knurl wandered off?
In the text.
I typed it in the chat about 6 minutes ago.
You might want to say stuff like that out loud, because we can't always keep an eye on the chat.
Sorry,
Okay,
I didn't
sorry.
see the chat. Hang on.
There was other conversation going on, so I didn't want to interrupt.
All right. Okay. Knurl, you find a glowing rad roach, and it is very angry. Roll for initiative. Desmond, would you like to do anything?
Well, I'm gonna say Desmond notices a little bit too late that Knurl has wandered off. Oh my god. That's a nat 1.
Knurl, you get a surprise round, and then the rad roach punches itself in the face.
The bug punches itself in the face.
Yeah, with one of its tiny little bug fists.
Adorable.
Do you have any more critique about my DMing, Alistair?
Not right now, thanks.
Alright, Knurl, you crush the rad roach. I'm not even gonna make you roll damage. Glowing goo spatters all over your feet.
I'm not sure what footwear Knurl is wearing. If any.
I assume since you had not specified anything to me, he was running around barefoot since I believe he's still wearing a hospital gown.
He is. So yep, he's barefoot.
All right.
Incredible.
Roll me a constitution check, and I'll come back to you in a sec.
Where is the loud, hairy, blocky one?
Velise looks around. Oh, damn it.
Did you say Constitution?
I said
Oh, no, I found it.
endurance or Oh, I did give you a constitution check. I'm so smart.
17.
All right, Knurl, you feel oddly invigorated, and your feet are a little tingly.
Knurl continues to wander, now at a brisker pace.
Okay, back to the rest of the party that isn't going on walkabout.
So yeah, Desmond just asked where the short, hairy, loud, blocky one is.
And Velise just said, damn it.
Probably doing some important investigation work.
Desmond just looks at you.
Hey! You're
Yes.
missing a religious relic here, don't you know?
What can you tell us about what happened? Like, we know the sword is missing. We know we need to retrieve it. We don't know anything other than that. Has there been anything inside the Chantry that could have caused this amount of destruction?
Ooh, nothing that was brought in, uh, ooh, I suppose if you had the right amount of, we keep some lyrium here, and, quite a bit of perfumed oil. I
Are you saying
suppose if you
someone
were
could have made a
really
bomb?
determined. What?
Are you saying someone could have made a bomb?
I suppose it wouldn't even have to be a bomb. Could have just been a very small thing set off in the wrong storeroom.
Desmond looks very thoughtful, but he's not saying anything yet.
And where is the sword usually kept?
Oh, above the altar. It's one of those magical thingamajigs. It floats normally.
I'm gonna go look at the altar.
Yeah, and she points to a sort of like, there's sort of like a sparkly, like glowing field above the altar. Like there's just something slightly different about the air there. Desmond, you can see right away that it's a magical field. Everyone else, you can pretty safely assume there's some sort of magic going on, just based on everything. You said Ray was going to investigate the altar?
Yes.
All right, roll me perception.
Will do.
Everyone roll perception, including Andrea. I mean, you're rolling for different things, but everybody roll for it. Aw, Knurl's recovered.
I got a 29.
15.
18.
18. Hannah, are you muted?
I am not muted. I am PMing in sequence.
Ah, okay.
This is the part of the show where people who aren't me tell jokes.
Why is an unemployed court jester so hard to trick?
I don't know why.
Because he's nobody's fool. But
It pains me.
Ray is going to be poking at things delicately with a giant rock finger. Like, poking at things is going to help you, like, figure stuff out. Just casually poking.
Those of you that have received PMs can react.
Okay. Ray sort of, like, kneels on the ground on one knee with a thud and squints down at the floor and says, I've found a footprint. And she also sort of points on the altar and says, I see someone seems to have left an amulet on the altar. Or by the altar. It looks like it was yanked off.
It was definitely on the floor. It was not like a ritual type deal.
Right, okay. So it's on the floor. Do either of you recognize this amulet? She asks, looking to the Chantry folk.
Velise looks pointedly at Hadley. Do you have somewhere to be, sister?
Oh, just, well, wouldn't do any good for me to be here when
This wouldn't happen
starts
to be
raining
your
down.
amulet, would it?
Can I move to, like, block the door?
You may move to block the door. I'm sorry, what was your question, Dally? I just happened to bump my earphone at the same time.
This wouldn't happen to be your amulet, would it?
May I look to see if it's my amulet?
Velise is going to inspect the amulet and make sure it's safe to pick up.
Are you looking to see if it's like magical somehow?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, roll enchantment for me.
Desmond's gonna roll 2.
13.
It appears to be made of a copper or brass type metal.
Desmond got a 20.
The amulet is definitely enchanted, but it doesn't seem to be any sort of like booby trap or something. It seems to be like some sort of enchantment that was probably helpful to the wearer.
All right.
Velise tentatively scoops it up by the chain and holds it tangling from her fingers in front of Hadley, but careful to keep it out of arm's reach.
Sorry, I've never seen it before.
Insight?
I would also like to insight.
Yeah. You guys can all have a +2 on insight because you're already suspicious of her.
I'm not rolling well today. 14.
Natural 20.
Nice.
That's a 19.
Wait, no,
honey.
that's not a natural 20.
Never mind. I thought I only. No, I. Oh, we get an extra +2. Yes, okay. No.
Did you add your actual insight bonus to that?
It's +1 and I forgot.
Okay.
So it's
So
Um,
it's technically a 23.
All right, whatever. It's a good roll. Also, it's a 22. All right.
You're right.
Velise, you're not really sure. You don't get an especially bad vibe, but she definitely is shifty about something.
Okay.
Desmond, you don't feel like she's lying, but you're not, again, you're not certain. And Ray, you can tell she's almost definitely telling the truth, but there is something that's still off about her.
Hmm.
Reverend Mother, what do you know about what happened?
I regret choosing this voice so hard. You know what? She just Sorry, dear. I had some dust in my throat that gave me a really bad accent. Sorry, dear.
I'll take it.
I'm revered Mother Gwendolyn. And you know, I'm not sure what happened. There was a large flash of light. I was in my cell doing my evening prayers. Uh, I just saw a bright flash, and then the whole front of the chantry was collapsed, and I came out, and we were trapped, and poor Brother Clifford had gone to be with the Maker. I assumed that it was Dragonfire.
Did anyone see where Karis went?
Is she not still there with Brother Clifford?
She is not.
Is there only one entrance she could have left from, or are there many?
There were presumably several doors at the front of the chantry at one point, but as it is, there is only a, rubble hole to actually leave the physical chantry from that you can see. And Desmond is standing right in front of it. He definitely would have noticed if someone had like tried to scooch around him.
Gotcha.
There are a couple of hallways leading into like further parts of the chantry nearby, and you can only see down those like a certain distance before they turn. So reasonably that would be the only place that Knurl or Karis could have gone.
Okay, I'm gonna head that way and look for her.
All right, are you going to the one on the right or the left?
Let's go left.
Velise will take the right then.
So Desmond is stuck back here.
Investigating. It's a very important job.
Desmond, don't let them go anywhere. It might not be safe.
I'll do my best.
All right, who has the amulet on them? Is it Velise?
Oh shit, yeah, it's me.
Okay. Nothing scary is about to happen necessarily. I just wanted to make sure I knew who had what.
Fair.
Okay. So Ray's going left, Velise is going right.
Yee.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Velise, you round the corner and find Knurl.
Oh, there you are. Hey, have you seen that sister we first came across when we first got here? The one who was kneeling over the body?
Knurl has not seen anyone, but Knurl has found things.
What has
Knurl
Knurl
does
found?
not have a sister.
What has Knurl found?
Knurl shows Velise his treasure haul of goblets and things.
Also, his feet are glowing if Velise happens to look down.
What? Why? Did you know that your feet are glowing?
Yes, Knurl's feet started glowing after Knurl smashed glowing bug.
Well, we'll get that looked at in a minute then. Listen, is there any way someone could have passed by you without you seeing them?
Could they? Hannah?
Probably not. Like, there were a couple of little alcoves and things, and there were some rooms off to the side as you walked down the hall, but there were only a couple of rooms off to the side, and like no one could have conceivably been walking down the hall at the same time as you or slipped past.
Knurl does not believe that Knurl was followed by anyone.
Alright, that probably means that Ray's on the right path. Come on.
Knurl shoves his treasure loot into his briefcase and follows Velise.
So
Desmond.
What?
Oh, sorry.
So you like goblets, huh?
They are shiny. Knurl likes shiny.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, Velise, if you have seen these goblets, these are not like standard drinking goblets. These are like goblets and jugs and chalices that are clearly like jeweled and made of precious metals and used in rituals and things. And
Yeah, she's fine with Knurl having these.
Yeah. Also, if you looked around the room that Knurl was in, there were a large number of empty glass cases in that room.
Knurl is being very forward thinking. It's like, we could need these later. Entrepreneurial.
Just for the record, Knurl has like 3, maybe 4 items, and there's at least 10 glass cases in the room.
Oh, in that case, Velise does a quick double take and says, Knurl, did you get these out of the glass cases back there?
Knurl grabbed some from the top.
The top?
Yes.
The top of what?
He points to the glass cases that were a bit above his eye level.
And the glass cases, they were already missing items when you got here?
Yes.
I think someone might have been here before you and stolen some things.
Knurl looks aghast that someone had gotten to the treasure before he did.
Want to see if we can find them?
Knurl makes sure that his briefcase is tightly closed and grabs his hammer.
Velise leads Knurl back down the way they came, waves to Desmond, says, "Hi, we think probably Ray's got the right route," and follows.
All right. Desmond, what are you doing? Are you just like keeping an eye on them?
He's standing there awkwardly, like keeping an eye on them, and he's in that position where it's like he wants to fill the silence, but he also doesn't know how to talk to people.
Okay. Sister Hadley says, "So, have you seen our floating field? It floats stuff.
It's very nice.
Have you tried floating something in it?
Not lately.
You should try it.
Maybe later.
Take a rock or a copy of the chant."
Desmond picks up a rock and is it within tossing distance.
What's your athletics score? Okay, you're probably gonna have to move a little closer to the place to toss if your answer is just hysterical laughter.
Yeah. He moves a little bit closer and then tosses it.
All right. As soon as you pass Sister Hadley, she bolts, and
Yeah.
you see her snag a bag from under the pew, and she just runs for it.
Desmond transforms into a dog and chases after her.
All right. What's your athletics score now?
All right.
Ooh, she's really running. You're gonna have to beat a 22.
All right. 1 second.
Behind you, you hear revered Mother Gwendolyn just shriek, "Sister Hadley!" Just like so horrified and offended.
Oof.
Oh yeah, she is out the door a clanking away. Revered Mother Gwendolyn just kind of sits down and sighs. And
Revered
she
Mother
says,
Gwendolyn is having a rough day.
she really is. She says, "Oh dear, I should have known, I suppose."
Desmond
Knurl's gonna
seeing,
be so upset.
Desmond, seeing that he's not going to catch up with her, transforms back into his human form. Should I roll infiltration?
Yeah, you haven't yet today, so give me a roll. Oh, yes. You are looking so fly today.
They're not going to be happy with me, are they?
Not your fault, dear. I should
All
have
right, as
known.
long as that's clear.
Her brother's in, her brother is trying to buy his way out of a mercenary contract. I suppose he can now.
Well, at least. And he's trying to think desperately of what to say next. At least it's going to a good cause?
Indeed. I wish I had helped her more. It's not always the fault of those who give in to temptation. At least not entirely.
Absolutely.
All right. She's just gonna sit sadly. She's not gonna go into that with you.
That's probably a good idea.
All right. So, Ray,
Yes.
you round the corner first, and you are gonna need to roll perception.
Got you. That would be a 16 perception.
All right. You do not find anything. The room at the end of the hall appears to be empty.
And there are no other like doors?
There were a couple of other doors. However, the door at the end of the hall was ajar and looked like someone had come through it really quickly. You've gone down a wing with a lot of like little personal, I mean, they call them cells in monasteries, but it's like dorm rooms basically. Not all of them have been in use. It's very clear that you have seen pretty much the entire staff of this chantry. There's like 5 or 6 rooms, and only 4 of them look like they get regularly used. And at the end of the hall is a larger room that's like a combination kitchen and common mess area. And that's where you're looking.
All right. And there's like nobody. Am I inside that room or am I in the hall right now?
I would assume that you are inside the room.
Okay. And there's no other way outside of the room besides that one door?
Not that you can see. It appears to like dead end. If someone was magically immune to all fire, they could shimmy up the chimney in the fireplace with a roaring fire in it. For the record, no one you have talked to today is immune to all fire. That was a joke.
Right. I am immune. Well, I'm resistant at least, I think. All right. I'm going to kind of look around the room and say very loudly, if anyone can hear me, This is a safe space. I just want to talk. I know I am big, but I don't plan on smashing anything today.
Roll speech to convince the totally empty room.
Right. Oh dear.
So empty.
Definitely empty.
Oops.
Oh, honey.
That would be a 4.
DC was 10.
Yeah. Hecked up there, didn't I?
You hear a cricket that has thus far been able to escape Knurl's wrath.
All right.
Not for long!
And at this point, Velise and Knurl may enter.
Ray, we're pretty sure they came this way.
It looks like someone came through the door, but I have been unable to locate anyone, and if they're here, they didn't respond to my attempt to reach out. It looks pretty empty to me.
Velise is gonna start looking.
Please do.
Knurl is going to go in and start flipping things.
All right. Both of you. You know what? Velise, roll perception. Knurl, roll strength.
Fair. Nat 20.
I did say strength and not athletics, but either way. Velise, as you're passing what looks to be a spice cupboard, you hear it sniffle softly.
What kind of size is this spice cupboard?
Oh, it's a pretty big spice cupboard. You could fit, say, an entire Chantry sister in it.
That's a 25, not a 35.
Fair enough. Knurl, you have successfully knocked over and thrown about just all kinds of shit, and you are at this point pretty sure that she is in the spice cupboard because it's about the only thing left standing in this room.
Velise stands by the spice cupboard, raises a finger as if to say shh, and then just kind of points gently at the spice cupboard.
Knurl raises Knurl's hammer.
Velise kind of holds up her hand and mouths not yet, and is there only one entrance to this room?
Yes. There is a door across the room, there is a fireplace, and other than that, it's just all like kitchen stuff.
Okay, she's going to jerk her head to make sure that someone is covering the door.
Knurl goes back to the door, picking up things that he has knocked on the floor and putting them into his briefcase on the way.
It's a good thing he has high strength. Velise crouches down and knocks gently on the spice cupboard door. We know you're in there.
Knurl, add 2 days rations, a wheel of cheese, and a pepper grinder to your possessions.
Along with like the 3 goblets.
Yep, you can keep the goblets too. You have essentially gained the loot for this particular section of the adventure.
She knocks again. Do you want to perhaps tell us what you're doing in there?
Never meant to hurt anyone.
Would you like to come out?
I suppose there's no point.
Just don't try and run, okay? You need to explain to us what happened so we can try and fix things.
Right.
And she opens the door.
Sister Karis is squished in there, very clearly crying. She says, Brother Clifford wasn't supposed to get hurt. No one was supposed to get hurt.
What was the plan, Karis? Oh no, I don't know her name. What was the plan, sister?
Shit, did yeah, okay. She says, Karis, I suppose you should know my name before you kill me.
What makes you think I'm going to kill you?
It's all my fault.
Do you want to explain what happened here to us, or should we go back and explain to the Reverend Mother as well?
Please don't make me explain to her. She's been through enough.
Alright, just tell us three then.
I just needed money. That was all. They said that that they were going to create a distraction, and that all I had to do was take it. That it wasn't hurting anybody. They told me they could fix the beacons without it, and
Was the distraction the rift coming open?
she nods and bursts into just like a whole fresh round of tears.
Velise is going to reach in to her pocket and pull out a handkerchief and offer it to Karis. And you don't have to try and speak, just nod or shake your head. The thing that you took when they caused the distraction, was that the sword?
She nods.
She holds out the amulet. And is this yours?
She nods again. And she says they said they needed the Blade of Hessarian. They're trying to. They said it was for good, and that they said no one would be hurt.
Karis, who are they?
I handed the blade off to a runner, and I made the explosion. I didn't know that the oil would explode. It was supposed to be so small.
Karis, do you know who they are?
Yes, it's the.
Karis? What's happening to her?
She as you watch, she chokes and blood starts pouring from her mouth, and she just falls out of the cupboard.
No. She picks her up and starts running. Desmond! Desmond!
I'm gonna run after her.
Desmond just kind of looks up and calls, "Yes?"
Heal her!
Knurl is slowly following behind the group.
Desmond starts walking because he doesn't quite realize the urgency, so he's not running.
Velise very much is.
Velise, almost before you picked her up, she had like gone totally limp.
Velise is in denial.
Yeah, I mean, I figured. I just thought you should.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
All right. Whenever Desmond moseys on over, are you gonna attempt to heal her, Desmond, or like?
Or can you tell that she's dead?
Yeah, when he sees her, he just kind of looks at her and then looks back up at Velise, and he says, "Who am I healing?"
Her. She started choking and blood. And can you do anything?
There's
Desmond.
nothing.
Yeah, Desmond. She is super dead.
There's nothing I can do for her.
No.
I'm sorry.
Damn it. It's because I asked her the name. You know magic, right?
A bit.
Are there any spells or curses that kill someone if they try to say...
Are there, Hannah?
Alright. Roll me either enchantment or history, your choice.
What's a 26 get me?
Is that in enchantment?
Yes.
Alright. You know that there are certain types of blood magic that could maybe do that. You're aware of blood magic and of like a couple types of demon that could put that type of ritual into place. But those are pretty much your two options.
I've never heard of specifics, but I believe blood magic or perhaps a demon could have done such a thing.
Maker. Reverend Mother, we know what happened. How is the Reverend Mother doing, by the way? Because we kind of just brought back a corpse.
Another one.
Yeah,
Yeah, another one.
Revered Mother Gwendolyn is in abject shock at this point. She's not quite catatonic. She's a pretty tough old lady, but at this point, literally everyone that she has spent the last, 10, 15 odd years working with is either super dead or on the run from the authorities. She is not having a good day. Also, a dragon just attacked her city.
Sister Hadley. Where's Sister Hadley?
Well, it was an accident.
Is she... Oh god, is she dead too?
No. She, well, that makes this news a bit easier. She slipped by me.
Yeah, no, that pales in comparison to this.
Definitely better.
Reverend Mother, I don't know if you want the entire story right now, or if you'd rather get some rest. In either case, we have a lead on what happened to the sword, and we can try to... Oh, this is so far over my head.
Do you require her body, or may I give her her rights?
If this was blood magic, is there any way to trace who did this to her with her body? Or
Would Desmond know?
Ray kind of shrugs and looks at Desmond.
Desmond can roll enchantment.
Enchantment!
Enchantment.
Oof.
Desmond, you know that experts on blood magic exist. You are not one of them.
Desmond looks thoughtful for a moment, and he says, I don't know what to do, but perhaps there are other mages in the city who would.
Perhaps, Reverend Mother, would you see your way to holding off on the rites for just a little longer until we can find out more?
I suppose I've got a lot of rights to give after today.
I'm so sorry. You shouldn't be here by yourself. Would you like us to find someone to come and... Or you could come with us to the mages, the Unbroken Circle?
I'm not certain they necessarily take kindly to me there. I kicked up quite a fuss after they asked to use the Blade of Hessarian for a magical focus.
Is there anyone we can call on to look after you?
I do have one friend among the mages.
Tell me it's not Jenny.
Please, no.
An older gentleman, Traxus, and I became quite close.
Oh.
While the anchor was being established.
Interesting. Well, Traxus is who we've been speaking with.
He's a kind soul. We eventually decided that we were each too devoted to our own work, but he's quite a piece of work. I admire him.
Ah, I see. I think he feels the same way.
Oh my gosh.
I believe I would appreciate seeing him after today.
Would you like to come with us?
No,
No,
really.
Perhaps.
I actually have a 50-foot restraining order around the Unbroken Circle Tower.
You stay here. When we've spoken to Traxus,
Goodness. When we've spoken to Traxus, we'll see if we can send him over to see you.
That would be best.
Alright.
Tell him I won't throw eggs at him this time.
We will.
This time.
You two have clearly had a complicated relationship. She is going to start ushering people outside.
I will
people.
lumber outside.
Knurl has to be dragged away from another pile of rocks that he's looking through for bugs and or treasure.
I will
Knurl,
drag Knurl away with one hand.
Girl finds 3 red lyres and a stink bug.
Knurl smashes bug!
Knurl stinks.
I mean, I'm pretty...
Ugh, what is that smell?
Knurl, you know, some of these bugs, by squashing them, you could be playing right into their hands.
But if Knurl kills all of them, then no more bugs.
Bugs are actually part of the ecosystem. We're not having this conversation right now. Desmond, you weren't there, but before she died, Karis was telling us that she was working with someone or some organization. She just referred to them as they. They-
Shit. Dally, quick retcon.
What?
When Karis died, the medallion you were holding got like white hot in your hand.
Oh shit. Okay. Was she able to pick it up again afterwards?
It was a very brief moment.
Oh, okay. So she's still got the medallion. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It just got super hot.
Oh no. Oh, bugger. Okay. So what was Velise saying? They caused the rift. They allowed the demons and the dragon to get through as a diversion. They had Karis set the explosion and steal the sword and hand it off to a runner. We don't know what they're using the sword for, but they've taken it, and they've taken it Maker knows where, and she holds up the amulet. The moment that Karis died, this got really, really hot. Do you have any idea why that might be?
I'm gonna roll enchantment, I guess.
Knurl is
Yes,
making
indeed.
grabby hands.
Knurl, it might not be safe.
Knurl can keep it in this to keep it safe.
Maybe.
The briefcase.
My concern is that it might be cursed. Maybe this is what caused her to...
What's a 21 get me?
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was the correct roll. A 21 gets you not much more than you had before. If the amulet suddenly reacted right as Karis died, it probably wasn't a coincidence. But it also wasn't like anything that told you much beyond, gee, maybe this amulet is cursed.
I'm afraid I'm not sure, but we are on our way to visit the mages anyway.
Yeah, we'll ask them.
Has anyone actually like taken a good look at the amulet, or have you all just been like, oh, this is an amulet?
I'll take a
Knurl
look at
has
it now.
stared a lot at it. Since
I was actually considering having Desmond, while they're walking, be like, hey, can I see it?
Yeah, I'll hand it over. I mean, can I have taken a look? I have been holding it this whole time.
Yeah. Everyone, which I think all of you have at this point, like physically held and examined the amulet. All of you roll history.
History.
Got you.
I'm having a bad day.
24.
8.
8.
Y'all are having a rough time.
32.
All right. Velise and Knurl, you know that this amulet is shaped like kind of like a shield, and it appears to be made of brass or bronze or copper, probably. Okay, Desmond, you notice that there is a sunburst symbol on the amulet, and you're pretty sure that's like a Chantry thing. You're not good with human uniforms. And Ray, You
Yes.
are actually not getting a lot more than Desmond is. You can tell this is definitely some kind of Chantry symbol, but it doesn't look right. Like the Chantry has never had shield-shaped emblems that you recall,
Uh-huh.
and you don't know of this amulet from any like organization that you can think of specifically.
Got you. Okay, so Ray's just gonna repeat that or say that. It looks to be. I'm sorry, you said it was something to do with the Chantry, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like the sunburst is a classic Chantry symbol, and that
Mhm.
much appears correct. But the sunburst like situated inside a shield with a pattern on top, you've never seen that.
Got
And
you.
that's definitely weird, and it looks different enough from the normal Chantry sunburst that you know it's not right. The little like tendrils are moving in the opposite direction from how the ones on all the like Chantry sunburst flags and things around you are.
Got you. So Ray is gonna look at everyone else and say, it seems to be a Chantry symbol, but it's wrong. It's not. There's the shield is strange and it's going in the wrong direction.
Maybe it's the symbol of the people we're looking for. Maybe they're a splinter from the Chantry.
That's a good theory, I think.
At any rate, maybe the mages will know more.
Ray nods. I suppose we'd better get back to the Unbroken Circle.
We are heading there as we're talking, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Whoops. I guess we better walk slightly faster to the Unbroken Circle.
All right, you arrive back, and Traxus is just directing people, and he looks so stressed out and so tired, and like he's just so not into this level of responsibility at all.
Knurl offers the man some cheese.
Good.
All right. Why not? This looks like a nice Stilton. You know, I know someone who loves Stilton.
Is this
You
person
young dwarf.
a piece of work?
Why would you say I have to go be managed shifts now?
Traxus, we have news.
Is everyone all right?
Well, let's just say that only one person remains at the Chantry right now. She's alive, but she has lost a number of people today, and she could probably do with seeing a certain piece of work of her own later today, if possible.
When you say that there's only one person left at the Chantry, he like all the color drains from his face, and he doesn't like relax from being like horribly tensed up until you finish what you're saying. And he's so, oh dear, is Gwendolyn all right?
No,
The revered mother, I mean.
the revered mother is not all right. 2 of her charges died, and one of them ran off. I didn't quite get the whole story on that one, but she's alive. Listen, we know roughly what happened to the sword, but we don't know where it is. Some organization or other tricked one of the sisters into helping them. They tore open that hole in the sky as a diversion, and then they stole the sword. Sister Karis handed it off to a runner, and it's been taken. We also know that this, she holds it up, was left. She left this when she stole the sword, and it lit up hot when she died, possibly of a curse.
He holds out a hand and says, "May I?"
Yes, be careful with it though.
he does some magical poking and prodding at it, and he says, "Well, the good news is I think it's like finished the curse. The curse was keyed to one person and has carried out its work. The bad news is that that curse made whoever was holding this amulet dead. So hopefully no one you children cared about."
So it was because I brought the amulet back to her?
Oh no, I think it's keyed to the bearer's blood. It would have happened from anywhere.
So they always intended to kill her.
Um,
She died before she could tell us who they were.
that tracks. I believe this amulet is he's kind of still poking at it, and he pulls down some reading spectacles and squints at it further while he's talking to you. And he kind of straightens himself up and says, "Yes, I believe that this amulet, the enchantment would be triggered if the bearer said a key phrase
Damn it.
or possibly a word. It's very interesting. It's layered underneath a different, more beneficial enchantment. It would be very hard to detect anything."
She died while she was trying to tell me who they were. Is it possible that that's what triggered it?
I would say even probable.
I'm sorry.
Likely provable if we torment this amulet enough.
Can we find out who cast the curse, the enchantment?
He sort of sighs heavily and keeps, poking at it, and he says, "That's really outside my area of expertise. It's certainly possible, but
What about the symbol then? Does that mean anything to you?
let me roll history for him." He shrugs and says, "It looks like it may have been a counterfeited Chantry symbol. I'm really not certain."
Velise looks around at the others a little helplessly.
What was the beneficial enchantment on the amulet? Do you know?
It helped the wearer to run faster and leap higher.
Knurl makes grabby hands again.
He slaps Knurl's hand and says, "I am not completely certain that this that the curse has completed its unpleasant work, and to keep it from killing again, this item will likely have to be entirely destroyed once we're finished studying it, of course, to find the perpetrators."
Do you know of anyone in town who might be able to identify the symbol besides yourself and the Gwendolyn? What's her name? What's her title?
Revered Mother.
And the Revered Mother.
Identify the symbol. I wouldn't even know where to begin. But you said you wished to know who enchanted this item?
Yes.
Yes. That would be extremely helpful.
I have a colleague who may be able to help. Unfortunately, not in the city. But
Where are they?
she's an expert in enchantments of all sorts and enchanting. She's also one of the last living benders of ironbark. I must say it's not a life I would have chosen for myself, but she's quite happy. She's well, this is the bad news. She's deep in the Brexilian forest.
Oh. Is that all?
I mean,
Knurl raises his hand.
yes, Sir Dwarf?
Which direction?
Knurl, don't go running off just yet.
He's kind of distracted, and he says, well, north, but I think you'll need a more specific
Bang,
legend.
Knurl goes.
He looks up as the flash of red hairy dwarf passes him and says, oh dear, I really shouldn't just say things around him, should I?
It's a learning curve. Ray, you're strong. Can you grab him, please?
Ray nods and sort of strides over and attempts to wrangle the Knurl. Athletics?
No, there's a very small voice behind you that says, don't worry, I've got him. And Knurl, you are lifted up, your feet do that like cartoon running thing, and you are very gently lifted and then plopped back among the group of people right within grabbing distance for Ray.
Okay, but before Knurl
I
is
grab.
around and put with the rest of the group, is like as he's getting off the ground, he's going to scream, ah! The bug's got Knurl!
Well, that's quite a trick. How did you do that?
I'm not a bug. You are looking at a little girl who's like, you're not totally sure. Your best guess would be like 9-ish.
Is this teleportation girl?
There's no teleportation, but she's the one from the previous session who told you that she could levitate things if she was concentrating very hard.
Levitation girl.
and wasn't
Levitation,
scared.
not teleportation. Thank you. Yes.
She is I'd say to the majority of you, she appears to be Kunari. Velise, you can kind of tell by like the shape of her eyes and the length of her ears and her general like skin tone that she's probably at least part elf.
Huh.
But she does have kind of grayish pinkish skin, and she's got very short horns that look like they're still growing in.
Thanks, kiddo.
Are you going to find my mother?
You're Jenny's daughter?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I know. She says that my pictures won't come in until I'm older.
No, I can see the resemblance now. Yes, we're going to try and bring her back. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name?
I'm Kyrie.
Kyrie. Hi, I'm Velise.
Hello, Velise.
Your mum's really strong, isn't she? And a very good mage.
Oh, yes.
So
I'm a good mage, too.
Oh, I'm sure you are. And,
She says I can't do the kind of magic that she does until I'm older, in case I get sucked into the Fade.
Yeah, well, that is very prudent. You want to be careful around the Fade. But your mum, she's been practicing for a long time, so you think she can take care of herself until we can go and find her?
Did she get sucked into the Fade?
Well, I think the Fade is where she is. But we're going to try and get her back, okay?
You look worried.
I am worried. The Fade is a scary place, but your mum's really scary too, so I'm hoping that she'll be able to be okay until we go get her. Is that alright?
I think so.
You're being really brave.
I asked her about if she would get sucked into the Fade one day if she wasn't careful, and she said she hadn't died yet.
It's true.
So...
And that's an
so
excellent
she
track record.
probably won't die still?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I certainly don't think she plans on it. Kyrie looks... Velise looks between Kyrie and Traxus and says, listen, I know it might take some time to decipher who cast the enchantment on that amulet, but do we have any idea of any organizations who can, she points towards the rift, make that happen?
Oh, we're taking care of that as we speak.
What I mean to say is, do you know who could have done it?
There can't be that many groups capable of that level of...
Because whoever did that is the same group who has the sword.
Right.
I really despise saying this, but in Ferelden, at least, the only group that has that sort of magical power and expertise is, well, us.
Do you think it could have been someone from within the Unbroken Circle?
It's very unlikely. All of our own lyrium stores are intact and no one's gone missing, and it would take a great deal of lyrium or blood or a just massive quantity of mages
Well,
to
what about...
open a rift like that.
Forgive me for being indelicate, but don't the Templars have a number of mages at their disposal?
It's not impossible. It's certainly a theory I prefer to suspecting my own people, but the Templars rarely keep that many mages all in one place, and they certainly don't give them access to lyrium. I believe it's more likely that this is an unknown threat. It's also possible, and this is very theoretical, but it is possible that the dragon itself could be capable of creating a rift.
With the sword of... What was the sword called again?
It's called the Blade of Hessarian.
Okay, but what would a dragon want with the Blade of Hessarian?
Perhaps it needed a toothpick.
Was that in character?
Yes.
Velise gives Ray such a look.
So does Desmond. Desmond just slowly turns and stares.
Ray just sort of shrugs and says, "It's a theory."
Dragons are not thinking, planning creatures. They're in many ways quite similar to wolves or hyenas. Not usually in packs.
Thank goodness.
They're tremendously powerful magical creatures, but they're still, by and large, just creatures.
Alright, so they weren't involved with the planning of this, but they could still have been utilised by whatever group took the blade.
I've never heard of someone gaining control over a dragon before.
Well, I've never heard of someone doing... She just gestures to the rift and the Chantry. Everything that's been done today.
Question, are you gesturing with the hand that has the amulet in it?
No, the other one.
Alright.
Also, I thought Traxus was still holding the amulet, or has he given it back?
Let's say he's given it back, because I just said those words with my mouth parts, so
Fair
yeah,
enough.
he gave it back.
Okay. Velise looks at the amulet again. Could we get this examined to try and find out who enchanted it? Would that be something we could do? Like,
as I said, there's no one on my staff.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I mind blanked. We need to talk to what's her face. Yep. Forgot I said that.
Then perhaps
instead-
we should.
Sorry, what was that?
Perhaps we should go look for this expert. How long a journey is it to them? Her.
Did you say she was in Ferelden?
She's in Ferelden. She's deep in the Brexilian forest. If she hasn't moved again, then I'd say she's about... Do you have mounts?
Well, I came here on a horse, but don't know about the other three.
I walk very quickly.
To be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure how I got here.
We will definitely revisit that comment And you, young dwarf, do you have a mount? He's already got his face in his hands as he asks this question.
It's good to be
Knurl
prepared.
just kind of tilts his head. Knurl has meat dog.
Oh yeah, you did have a dog, didn't you? Where's he gone?
Meat dog barks cheerfully.
Oh, there he is.
Meat Dog has been there the whole time.
Quick question: is Meat Dog a Mabari?
Meat dog is a perfect cross between a Mabari and a German Shepherd.
Good.
Yes.
I want to know what that looks like.
Hannah posted a picture of it last week.
I did indeed.
Oh wait, did I? Oh, I remember.
I will post again if you want.
Yes, please. I can always use pictures of dogs.
You can never have too much meat dog.
True.
Trex, is this person we're seeking out who can help us? Does she have a name, description?
She's an elven woman, originally from one of the Dalish clans. Her name is, well, actually she never told me her real name, but she goes by Drithara.
Alright.
I tried to convince her to come here. It didn't work. I'm not actually great at communicating with women. Or men. Or anyone. I really like doing research and writing things down and making graphs.
Well, you've been helpful communicating to us, for what it's worth.
Thank you. I've read several books on the subject.
Of course you have. Hannah, what time of day is it?
At this point, a new day has not occurred. It is very late in the day. You're probably going to want to find somewhere to sleep before you embark on this great journey.
Question.
Yes,
Are Knurl's feet still glowing?
they are indeed. They look lovely in the evening light. They're also kind of sticky.
Knurl has gotten a bit distracted by his feet during this whole conversation and started poking them.
Knurl, do you want to see someone about that?
Or at least wash them?
Knurl is fine.
I don't think it requires medical attention yet, but you may wish to sanitize those before it.
Is there anywhere in town we might be able to stay before... I don't want to speak for anyone else, but I was thinking of setting out first thing in the morning.
I wish I could offer you beds here, but I'm afraid there are too many who are injured, and as you can see, we are short.
No, that's understandable. Are there any inns?
There is Greasy Joe's Druffalo Haunches. Despite the name, the rooms are actually quite clean.
Huh, that was an inn.
Knurl takes off in the direction of where he smelled the food earlier.
Knurl knows the way.
At least Knurl actually knows where he's going this time.
Well, you'll know where to find us if you happen to need us. You'll check in on Gwendolyn? I mean, the revered mother?
I'm very busy, but
You'll
I will
check in
find
with
a way.
the revered mother.
I will find a way to wedge that into my schedule right now, immediately. And he turns to a random person next to him who is very clearly not in a position of authority, points to them and says, you're in charge until I get back, and scoots.
Good.
Oh, also, he definitely marked the location you're headed for on a map
Thank you.
before he scooted. Just saying.
Excellent. Ray is going to reach into her sack and pull out a Bronto plush and tuck it into the hands of the small child, this Jenny's child.
Kyrie?
Yes, Kyrie, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. Much like a Bronto, your mother is strong and very durable.
Are
Do you
Brontos
give a
all you
lot of motivational speeches to do with Brontos?
You would say that it's a specialty. You could say, rather.
Sorry, Alistair, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just. Desmond was about to say, are Brontos all you care about?
No. I also care about Bronto herders.
Well, that answers my question.
Excuse me, Rock Lady, and, the rest of you,
Yes.
can the amulet you have?
Yes?
Well, it's just, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's not a lot for 9-year-olds to do around the Unbroken Circle.
Do you recognize the amulet, Kyrie?
I read a lot, and it's in one of my books. Can I show you? I don't think the library got smashed.
That would be great,
Yes.
Kyrie.
Please do.
She guides you up to the 4th floor, which I don't think I've put anything on yet. And she rummages through a lot of bookshelves. She's not a super gentle with the books. She's just kind of she looks very serious and like she's on a mission, and she's just kind of casually tossing books behind her as she goes.
Can I make an athletics check to catch them?
Yes, you may.
Sick.
And
34.
yes, you catch all of the books as they fall, and you put them in a neat stack behind her. You hear a relieved sigh from a librarian-looking person who's was doing something else over in a corner, and
I give them a-
looks like they have been traumatized by Kyrie's casual attitude towards books before.
I shoot them a double thumbs up.
They kind of smile shakily back. And Kyrie finally finds the book, and she says, "Here it is.
Thank you.
It's a history book. It's about what the world was like before the Veil Rend. It's called an encyclopedia?
Encyclopedia, yeah?
It's here." She flips towards the back of a very thick book and shows you an illustration.
I look.
Yeah, it looks exactly like the medallion you've got, and the caption reads "Emblem of the Tevinter Chantry."
Oh no. Wait, quick question. Do I know about Tevinter?
Do I know about Tevinter?
Because, like, I know about Tevinter, but does my character know about Tevinter? Do we need to roll
Yeah.
history?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a history check, because Tevinter does not exist at this point. Dally, you're a bard, so I'll give you +3, and Allie, I will give you +3 for being like 200 years old.
In which case,
Nobody else gets a bonus.
In which case, I got a 16.
17.
Knurl isn't there.
Again?
Wait, what? Oh no, that's right. Sorry, Knurl went ahead to the thing.
Oh yeah,
fuck.
Knurl totally did. I got a 33.
All right. Ray, you remember the Tevinter Imperium. I mean, not personally.
Right.
It had already pretty much ceased to exist by the time that you were alive, but you remember a fair bit about it. You know that it was a nation of mages that pretty heavily favored blood magic, not unlike the tribes that now inhabit the same general northern area.
Okay.
But like you also know that it has long since ceased to exist. You know it's pretty bad news. Let's see. Dally and Alistair, you both remember that Tevinter is a bad word and it used to be a country, you think, but like you mostly remember that like it's bad guys come from Tevinter.
In which case, my in character, oh no, still stands.
Fair enough.
Excellent. I'm gonna relay that information to the group and tell them that
It's I'd say, like with a roll that solid, probably everything in like the first few paragraphs of the Dragon Age wiki on Tevinter.
sick. So I'm gonna, I guess, go to the Dragon Age wiki and
I mean,
take a look at
you don't have to right now. I'm just saying, like, for future reference.
Right, got you. But yeah, I'll tell them that Tevinter, the Tevinter Imperium, was a country of mages a long time ago. This is a little troubling. I suppose if some faction of Tevinter survived, they might have the power to do something like this. They were very focused on blood magic.
Oh dear. And
Possibly radicals trying to bring their country back? I don't know.
using the sword? You mean to say these are the kind of mages that are what Templars try to tell the rest of us all mages are like?
The sword's from Tevinter too.
It is.
Hessarian was an archon?
An archon. Do I know what that is?
Not with that history roll.
Okay, in which case, an
Do
archon.
I know what that is?
Yes, archons, which is how you actually pronounce it, but not how it looks in a book, they were essentially like the prime ministers of Tevinter. It was
Gotcha.
It was an elected position, but in a very like corrupt and blood magic-y way.
Right.
It was
that
an
information.
elected position, quote unquote.
Yeah. So I will relay that information to the group so that everyone knows.
Yeah.
I wonder why they decided to make that a holy relic and also a focusing. Okay.
For the reference of all of the players, and you may or may not know this in character, but for the reference to the players, in like the mythology of the Chantry, Hessarian was the general who was tasked with like burning Andraste, the sort of Jesus figure, at the stake, and
So he's
at
bad.
the last minute. What?
Oh, sorry. I started to say, oh, so he's bad before letting you finish.
Yeah, but at the last minute, Hessarian had a crisis of conscience, repented, and since Andraste was already on the fire, he killed her with his sword rather than making her like suffer through the agony of the slow burning death. And so
Okay.
the blade is sometimes called the Sword of Mercy, and is a big deal in the religion. That's the sword that's on Templar armor.
It
That's
sounds a
where the
little
emblem
bit
comes
like
from.
the Spear of Longinus.
Funny you should mention that. All Dragon Age mythology is completely original and in no way ripped off from Christianity. It
Duly
really is.
noted.
Of course not.
But yeah, so that is for player reference why it is a holy relic. Whether or not your character would know that,
Mine
is,
doesn't.
yeah, up to you and or your history checks.
Velise
Knurl
has no
a memory
patience.
of today.
What was that, Andrea?
Knurl has a memory of today. He does
Fair.
not know.
Velise has no
To be
patience
fair,
for these
it's
human
probably
gods.
been more than 24 hours at this point. Knurl has the memory of like today and some of last night.
Sure.
Sorry, Dali, I didn't mean to talk over you there.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I didn't even notice.
Anyways, do you guys want to do anything else in the library aside from, enjoy that revelation, or are you good to rest for them?
Oh, Velise does do one more thing, and that she crouches down and says, "Hey, Kyrie, do you know Sabine?"
Sort of. She's new.
She is new.
I know everybody. A little bit.
I bet she could make a really awesome Bronto that could be a friend for your Bronto, except it's going to look a little bit like a turkey.
That's okay. I like turkeys better than Brontos.
Oh, she can
Plus,
totally make you a... Sorry, what was that?
Plus, sometimes adults give you things so that they can feel better about making you feel better. And so it's important to take the things and be nice about it.
You're a really smart kid, you know
This
that?
kid.
Bless.
And she kind of wanders off at that point with her Bronto plush tucked under one arm and the encyclopedia under the other.
Velise watches her go. She feels oddly wistful and is kind of not looking anyone in the eye right now. It's like, no, this is fine. This is all perfectly, this child is not pulling on my heartstrings. I don't know what you're talking about.
There are no emotions here.
This is an emotion-free zone.
Absolutely none.
And she just coughs and says, so right, are we are we finding Knurl at the meat-smelling inn or not? Are we going? We're going. And she just starts walking.
Ray's gonna go along as well.
Knurl, have you attempted to negotiate for a room, or what are we doing over here?
Knurl has gotten there and then realized Knurl has nothing to pay for a room.
Well, Knurl does have some very shiny goblets and what's roughly the equivalent of 3/4.
Knurl has offered the 3/4. He's not giving up his goblets.
Greasy Joe looks at the 3 red liars and says, I give you a bucket, and returns with a water bucket and a little bit of soap, clearly on the assumption that Knurl is going to wash Knurl's feet.
Knurl takes the bucket of water. He leaves the soap.
Eh.
Knurl is now sitting outside and waiting for the rest of the party to get there, drinking the water.
I love him.
Hey.
The rest of the party arrives.
Hey, Knurl.
Knurl has bucket.
That's good.
Good for you.
That's good, I think. We have some more information on the amulet.
Does Velise have amulets?
She holds it up.
Knurl makes grabbing hand.
Okay, but you keep this safe, right? Because we need to show it to... What was her name again?
Derthara.
Derthara?
Yes.
Derthara. Because we need to show it to Derthara. Okay?
Knurl understands. Knurl will keep it in briefcase.
Velise has a think, surmises that this is probably the safest place it can be, and hands it over to Knurl.
It is a very full briefcase.
Everyone but Knurl, roll perception as Knurl opens Knurl's briefcase.
18.
19.
I rolled a 1. Not 1. I mean, plus 10, but not 1. Critical fail.
Incredible. All right. Ray, there's a bug in Knurl's briefcase.
Oh god.
Knurl hasn't noticed it yet, clearly, because it's alive. Everyone else, there's straight up a pit boy laying in there.
And I'm assuming we all know the significance of this.
You have at least seen enough, like, you may not have seen that exact personal computing device, but you have seen enough computing devices in your life to recognize that that is a personal computing device that straps to your wrist. And that it is very valuable.
Does Desmond know this too?
Yeah.
Velise drops to her knees and just stares. Knurl, where in oblivion did you... Sorry, wrong fantasy universe. Where in the void did you get that?
Knurl looks confused and pulls out a random thing.
She pulls out a goblet. The Chantry, I thought you were there. No. No, the computer, she points at it.
Oh! Knurl found an ugly leather bracelet when Knurl woke up.
Knurl, this isn't an ugly leather... Well, I mean, it is that, but... Here, hold out your wrist.
Knurl slowly holds out his wrist.
She starts strapping it onto him and tries to switch it on.
It comes to life. and displays the message, "Welcome, specimen KNR1."
Specimen.
And then it shows like the normal Pip-Boy interface.
Knurl, were you called a specimen where you were before?
Knurl shrugs.
Where were you before, Knurl?
Knurl was underground.
Okay. Do we know about vaults?
Vaults as such do not exist in this universe that you know of.
Okay. Do dwarves usually, are underground dwarven cities still a thing?
There are lots of underground taigs, and it's reasonably common knowledge that some taigs have lost all contact with the outside world since the Veilrend, and have sort of just kept on trucking, very completely isolated from the rest of the world.
So, you're from underground. Are you from... Are there lots of other dwarves where you are, then?
Well, Knurl found a robot, Knurl smashed robot, and Knurl found Meat Dog.
Meat Dog barks cheerfully.
She glances over at Ray and Desmond.
Desmond just kind of shrugs.
Knurl, would you mind if I had a look at your computer?
Knurl is still holding out his wrist.
Velise takes this as a yes and is going to try and scroll through the different screens to see if she can find out anything more.
I will send you the map that has the discovered locations on it after I actually scan that map, probably tomorrow. Other than that, you find that Knurl has surprisingly low blood pressure for something of their rage levels, and a weird quantity of clothing that they're not wearing, and that's about all of interest that you've got.
She slowly just kind of lowers his wrist and says, "If you keep that on, it might be helpful for you, but you can take it off if you'd prefer."
Oh, it can also play Tetris.
She glances down. Oh, it can also play Tetris.
The most exciting feature.
Knurl has now become consumed with the screen, playing Tetris.
What have I done? I mean, at least it'll stop him from wandering off, right?
Damn it, I should have made it Swarm. Okay, retcon. It plays Swarm, and Knurl gets to smash the bugs.
Yay!
Alright, if no one would like to do anything else, I'm gonna say you guys are gonna retire to the inn for the night.
Sure. How much do rooms cost?
They cost 1 blue lyre each.
Okay.
And somebody's gonna have to spot Knurl.
I don't know if Desmond has any money either.
Would Ray have money? I feel like Ray would have some money.
Yeah, Ray and I didn't give you guys any starting money, did I?
You gave
Not
me
at all.
some as a reward for my starting quest.
Alright, you get the starting money. Allie, you were supposed to get some money in your starting quest and you didn't, so give yourself 30 blue lyres.
Sick. 30 blue wires or liars?
Lyres.
Like with an
I
L?
mean, yes, the unit of currency. I mean, you can have some lyres too if you have some sort of character reason for wanting them, but
Making an electronic Bronto.
nope, sorry.
can see it
You
now.
already tried that.
I
You tried
did.
that
It was
last time.
glorious.
And I can't prove that that's what led to the cursed dice, but I'm not taking that chance.
All right. I can. How much does it cost for a night?
It costs 1 blue lyre.
Velise is willing to spot Knurl.
Ray, Greasy Joe kind of glances at your bag and says, "I'll comp his room," pointing at Desmond, "if you give me one of them Brontos for my kid."
Always happy to spread love of Brontos, Ray. readily agrees and hands over a Bronto plushie.
You're gonna love this. He need another
Uh,
bucket. He didn't wash his feet or nothing.
Yes, that might be
Yes.
a good idea.
Greasy Joe, who is actually meticulously clean despite the name, nods, goes into the back, returns with another bucket, and this one he just very unceremoniously pours on Knurl's feet.
Good.
Velise deftly holds Knurl's arms out of the way so that the pit boy is not in danger of getting doused.
Alright. Unless you guys want to do anything else, I will let you retire to your rooms for the night.
Okay.
And they come with dinner, so you don't have to mark off any rations just yet.
Neato.
Sick. Because I don't have any rations.
Do you
You're a
eat?
golem.
I'm offended.
Does that mean you do
But-
eat?
I'm not even going to validate that with an answer, and I'm going to bed.
Does Pile of Rock eat rock?
I'm not a cannibal.
Velise.
Alright.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we're gonna end the session there, but if someone else is saying something.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm not sure if Velise actually asked that in character. I, out of character, do not know whether or not golems eat.
Oh, I was kind of answering that in the quasi space between in character and out of
Oh,
character.
yeah.
'Cause I wasn't
yeah.
really sure.
That space. That's fair.
Yeah. No, golems don't need to eat.
Okay.
I think we
go-
can, but we
go-
don't need to.
Golems follow crystal gem rules with eating.
Got it.
Alright. I gotta go to bed because I gotta be awake in like 4 hours.
Oh,
But I love y'all.
sorry.
Good night.
Love you.
Love you too.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
Okay.
Thank you all for playing.